Okay, hello. Welcome to second installment of NBN Play-In Podcast. I'm Cheppy, owner of the New York Knicks. I have with me Heat Culture, owner of the Miami Heat. You want to say hey?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How's it going?
All right, hey. Well, Heat Culture, you're actually one of our, I think you're a pretty long tenured member in the NBN, am I right?
Yeah, I've been been at it for a few years since before the reset, and I think a reset that happened before then too.
Oh, then you're really OG, because not a lot of people remember that. I think you have to be on the BOD to remember that.
Yeah,
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I think that makes you've been here longer than me at this point. So that's kind of wild to think about. I mean, you're one of the quieter people in the league, not really visible a lot in the public chats on our
yeah,
Discord server, but you've been with us for a long time. So there was a time I remember that we were thinking, is this guy going to be really active enough to be an owner long term? But since you've been with us for so long, we didn't want to do anything. But
yeah.
I assume you remember us checking in a few times, or
Oh
probably someone
yeah,
like Chuck.
yeah. When I had first started in the NBN, I was touring in a band, and so that made it a little wild to keep track of, and it's always very busy. And shout out to Egghead, really helped out in the times when I couldn't be available back when we were a front office. But since then, ironically, like right before COVID happened, I decided to take a break from playing music to kind of just get my regular life in order. And then COVID happened, so it didn't really matter. It was gonna happen either way, and so I have a little bit more time now to put into it, and it's been really fun for me. Really, since I started, I've always wanted something like this to exist. So yeah, it's been fun to be a part of it.
Yeah, I guess we can't overstate the usefulness of Egghead. I mean, he got so good that we had to take him out of your front office. We had to put him somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
He was one of the front runners for BOD, I think, to replace some people who were heading out. And I mean, now I mean, his team is very, very good right now.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but yours seventh in the East. That's nothing to sniff at, but it puts you in the play-in as it stands right now. Is
Yeah.
that your position with the team? Is that something you're happy with right now?
No, I definitely thought that we were gonna be in better standing around this time, but we had kind of a slow start, and I was kind of tinkering a bit with the offense and system proficiencies and whatnot. Um, and we were playing some pace and space, and started to win some games, so I was cool with that. But no, I didn't think that we would be sitting in seventh, and I'm hoping to not be in the play-in game. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
well, we'll see because especially the seventh seed right now, the play-in's a little volatile. It's far shorter than a normal playoff series, but if you keep your seventh seed spot, it's a little loose right now since you're only half a game ahead of Orlando right now, who's in the eighth seed.
True. Yeah.
But if you keep the seventh seed, it's 2 games you have to lose to be eliminated, so it's a little more wiggle room than if you were outside of the playoff spot right now. So I
Yeah.
mean, you have that benefit going for you. Your record isn't really that bad. You're 5 wins over .500. Although maybe you would have expected a little more coming from a team that had just been to the finals.
Yeah, and we were kind of hitting a stride there, and then we're 3-7 in the last 10, or I think probably even worse now after the most recent game. Probably more like 2-8, and so I've been making some adjustments the last few nights, as well as adjusting to bringing in the trades we made to bring in Justice Winslow, as well as we got Daniel Tice along with a couple of picks. And yeah, I'm hoping that we can try to make a run at this 6th seed. No offense, Toronto, but
Yeah, well, speaking of your trades, you are infamous for being one of the last standing teams without a trade conducted in the NBN. And amidst all
Yeah.
these guys revamping their teams, overhauling everything, you stood strong. I mean, how many calls did you get about your players, even going back to the draft?
Oh, a lot, a lot, and I'm a diehard Miami Heat fan, like in real life. So,
Yeah, you don't have to tell
I,
me you traded for Justice Winslow again. You know.
yeah, exactly, and so I definitely, there's a bit of emotion there, but I try to think about things logically, and I was really happy with the in real life team, and so when we did the reset and that was the squad I had, I felt pretty confident about it, and I didn't want to make too many drastic changes. But we probably get the most inquiries about like Jimmy and Tyler, and
Oh yeah.
I almost dealt Tyler literally like in the waning minutes of the up to the deadline, and I had to really think about it, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. But yeah, I just wanted to see what this group can do, and there's the emotional attachment. Like I gotta have Haslam on my team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now going through a full almost full NBN season and seeing what I really have in as far as the simulation goes, I'm definitely going to be pursuing some moves in the off season and going forward. But yeah, I like the team, I like the guys, and I wanted to see what they could do after making the finals last season in real life.
No, well, I'd wish you good luck on that, but I kind of own your first round pick, so I that's all I can say on that. I won't say maybe break a leg out there. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, if you've been making adjustments and all that, now I notice recently you just bring in this new GM, this new guy.
Yeah.
How has the dialogue been between you guys so far?
It's been pretty cool. He's a bit younger than I am, which doesn't matter, and I like that. And he has a lot of experience in like Madden leagues that he's done. Um, Shout out Zeroria.
Hmm.
It's pretty early right now, so I'm just trying to be patient with him and kind of show him the ropes when he has any questions. And I'm really excited to have him on board because it was just me there for about a year now since Egan went to Brooklyn, and it's fucking awesome to have a front office again. Like I had to dust off the front office
Oh yeah.
chat, but yeah, I'm excited about what he can add to what we got going on, and it does help me to have that other person, not only just to share in the responsibilities, but also somebody to tell me like, hey man, I think it's time we we move on from Haslam or something. Like
That's really interesting because a lot of one man offices they need someone to kind of like reel them back. It sounds like you need someone to give you a little push. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it's like for homers, though. They're
Yeah,
really
exactly.
they stick close to them. I know that previous Orlando owner, I think he was a Magic fan, and he wouldn't give up Isaac. He wouldn't give up guys like that. And the new guy comes in, not as much attachment. That guy gets dealt at the deadline. So
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. I mean, when you look at a situation like that, do you ever think that you could stand to see someone else own the team and make those kinds
Uh,
of moves?
yeah. I think I could, and I've thought about it. I've thought about it, but when it really came down to it, I really do enjoy running the team, and um, I have more time now than I did before, not being on tour and stuff all the time. So like, it's something that I hope to get even more involved in, and I kind of lurk on the chat. I'm always watching, um, but I don't know. It's like I don't know if I'm too heat, but we don't do a lot of leaking, and but I do enjoy the community that we're building here with the MBN, and I would like to participate more in those things. But yeah, I would like to continue running the team, and just going back on like just being a homer and and kind of having a rational value on my players. Back when me and Egghead were at it, he would present to me some things that if I was just going to stay on my homer stuff, like I probably wouldn't even consider. And we by the end of that league, we had a completely different team, than what we had started with. We had acquired James Harden, we had Jamal Murray, and so I'm definitely open to change. But this time around, it was hard not to let these guys get a chance to try to get back to where they were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely respectable. Not a lot of people have that kind of respect for the team that came before, and I'm not going to name any names, but I mean, LA is a little hectic place right now in the NBN.
Yeah,
no shade, but it's
I feel
just
like I missed the fire sale. I missed out on that.
Oh, well, a lot of people did, man. A lot of people did, and some people may be angry about it, but I don't know. I guess you snooze, you lose. But when we came down to the deadline, can you talk me through a little bit of like what made you want to make those trades that you did and finally kind of like, break out of the 0 trades done?
Yeah. I had been asking around and looking for certain things. I like I said earlier, I felt like we're underperforming, so I wanted to find something to give us a little bit of a boost. And we had some expiring contracts that I figured I could try to do something with them, but honestly, I didn't really find like a home run that I was really looking for. And when Justice Winslow returned in real life, that was always going to be a player that I would be wondering, like what if he could be healthy, if he had time to be out there. I seen a lot of what he could bring to the table, and so I wanted to kind of have kind of utility forward guy like that coming off the bench. He can handle the ball. He's going to play excellent defense, which is like priority. And we got a nice pickup at point guard, and Schroeder. He's hurt right now, but hopefully he'll be healthy in time for the playoffs. And I was just trying to kind of refresh things a little bit and give my boys some backup.
Yeah, well, for Schroeder specifically, he's going to be a priority to re-sign in the offseason, right?
Yeah, we have our hands full as far as some of our expiring guys and what we're going to have to do this summer. We're going to have this offseason, we're going to have a lot of thinking to do.
Oh, yeah. You have Duncan Robinson, restricted free agent as well, and then Kendrick Nunn. Yeah.
And originally I had my sight set on, somebody like Giannis or something like that. I was kind of just like in real life heat, we had this cap space coming up here, but it was very important to extend Bam, and that gives us a future. And, we got that done, and that's going to eat into some of that space. And then trying to retain some of these guys, that's going to eat into it as well. But we're going to have to make some tough choices and decide who's really worth it. And maybe you might see us go after a free agent and what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank here, but when you release the rights to
renounce.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. You might see us renounce some of those guys if an opportunity comes along and we can free up enough space.
No, yeah, I definitely say the free agency market, it's always a gamble for sure, especially in NBN. But this year, I think it's a little unique because a lot of the expiring stars have gotten traded. So as far as the market, I think it's probably as open as it's ever going to be. This like guys like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, they're going to be looking hard at different destinations. And Miami right now with the team they have, or your team, I think that's a very attractive destination for a lot of free agents coming from, I don't know, somewhere like Indiana. Even though I think our rules are a little different as it pertains to market.
Yeah.
Just looking specifically, I mean, for example, Kawhi Leonard, his thing is he wants to be paired up with another star, and you got Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo on your team, and I think if you get the cap space to go after him, I think that would totally be such an excellent acquisition for you guys. So I'm definitely excited for your offseason. You have a lot of options.
Type of stuff that I've been pondering recently, and maybe some of you guys will be getting some messages from us trying to clear up some space if we need to, or like I said, we might have to renounce some guys if the right opportunity comes along.
Yeah, I would just be careful because some of these guys are like blood-sucking vampires. They want to take all your picks when you call them, no matter what the trade is. I mean, I was trying to trade salary dump a minimum contract. They wanted a second-round pick. It's just like,
Yeah, that's a good point, too. I think that kind of factors into some of my hesitance with making these trades. And, I value my guys, and I'm not trying to give up everything I have, for nothing. Like, I feel like I probably, it's a hard bargain when you're going to trade with us, but as shown, we're willing to make some concessions, and we'll get things done when we need to. But yeah, we also have a depleting assets kind of situation as far as our draft picks. That could be something that if we ever decide in the future to go in another direction, that could be something that we start to target to kind of bolster up our future a bit. But right now, we're trying to contend. We're trying to compete.
Well, for this upcoming draft, are you in it? Do you have picks for it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I have so few picks that at this point, I would be surprised if I was.
Well, I mean, have you been looking at the prospects for this year? Is there a way that you're looking at getting into the draft this year, or is it not really a priority?
It's not a priority for us right now. If we could get, I don't mind having like a late lottery pick or something like that. I'm not always dead set on that. I have to get that lottery pick or that top guy. I do think that our strength is going to be trading and free agency, specifically free agency, and so yeah, I don't place too much importance on the draft, but then again, if circumstances change, you might see us. I don't know, like trying to acquire draft picks that I had to stop myself because I'm not going to say tank. But
yeah, be careful with that word. We don't like to hear it around here.
That's not going to happen. But yeah, I'm not really too keen on the draft at the moment, especially as strapped for picks as we are. I think our next pick that we own is a 2022 first, and there's some conditions on that. There's a swap on that one even. So if we could try to get some more picks through some of our transactions going forward, just here and there, that'd probably help us out.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are in a good enough position right now where you don't really have to worry about the draft. So it's a bit of a luxury right now for a playoff team to have a first round draft pick that they really are going to invest time in. They usually just end up trading it away on draft day anyways for a veteran player or something like that, something that helps them compete. So, and you've got a competitive team already, so I wouldn't even worry about it. I mean, as far as how far you see your ceiling right now, is it like you're sort of waiting for Bam to break out into an even bigger star to take you to the next level, or how do you foresee yourself breaking out of this low playoff seed that you're in right now and being able to be a real contender in the league?
I think that I really felt like maybe we're one piece away, and I feel like Bam and Jimmy are ready right now, and with Bam being 23, he's at this point, and I think he's just gonna continue to improve. That gives us a future, and that's also why I like having Tyler, because if we could see some good improvement from him, that's the future of our team right there. And but Jimmy Butler's not getting any younger, and you don't want to waste those prime seasons of your star player. So it'd be nice to acquire somebody who can kind of sit in between those windows, but help us go after it right now. But I think our team is better than what our record indicates, and I'm hoping that we'll see that in the playoffs. But just getting the right group together around Jimmy and Bam is going to be key. Going forward, I do kind of see us as like one piece away from being able to make some noise.
No, yeah, I mean that's the situation I think for most of the guys in the East that are looking for something. Boston, Toronto, maybe Atlanta just solved their issue, I guess. Same with Indiana. Of those teams in the top like 4 seeds, those are the teams you're looking at playing. Maybe Milwaukee, Indiana, Atlanta, or Brooklyn. Is there like an ideal matchup that you've identified, or?
Not at the moment, but just being a competitor, I wouldn't mind just jumping right into the fire and seeing what's up with Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
Who knows how it will go, but I mean, we're gonna have to go through those guys, so it's got to happen at some point.
I mean, I'll tell you what, that's a matchup. That would be a prime time matchup, kind of like a master and the student kind of thing. It'd be full circle. I mean, the announcers would go crazy over it, I'm telling you. It'd be a whole event.
Yeah, Egghead is a master in his own right, so, I'll use that usely. But yeah, matchup wise, also, that was another thing with acquiring Justice is, I want to have some solid wing defenders, and Iguodala's great, but he's getting up there in age, and it's nice to have another young player that can defend and kind of do some of the things he did, but be on more of an upswing and maybe improve as we go along here.
Well, about Iguodala, you kind of did him a little dirty. I won't lie. You spent that time in Memphis not really wanting to be there, and then you just send him right back before the playoffs. It's a little...
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Well, I'm sure you would look at it a little in more direct terms, but luckily they're not real, so they can't hurt you. Otherwise, I don't know. I'd like the front office doors, maybe.
Yeah, maybe send him a care package of some sort. Thank you.
I mean, as far as veteran players, no one's been done worse in the NBN than Carmelo Anthony. He joined that Lakers team with LeBron and AD, and now look where... I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I can't really talk too much about the Lakers. They kind of make me mad, but... I mean, in the East, the things are starting to cool down a little bit. Like, the top 4 seeds are they're a little bit decided. There's not too much, what do you call it? There's not too much mobility to go from 8 seed to a 4 seed or something like that because of the distance in the games and the difference in talent. But for you can still, I think, climb at least until the 5 seed, possibly. I mean, you're 5 games behind Boston right now, but we have 20-something games left. So I'm sure you've been talking all this time about competing and being competitors, so I'm sure you guys are going to try your hardest till the end. The only thing I think that could derail you right now is injuries. I mean, what's been the history so far with injuries on the Miami Heat? Hello?
Yeah.
All right.
Injury question, I believe.
Oh, you didn't hear?
No, yeah. What was that question?
Oh, okay. So I was just saying there's not a lot of mobility to be able to go from the bottom of the conference to the top at this point in the season. But, you've been talking all this time about being a competitor, and there's still a little bit of a chance for you to get to the 5 seed. You're 5 games behind Boston right now, and they haven't really been all that where they were thinking they were maybe going to be a contender this year, and now a lot of teams have kind of leapfrogged them. Are you afraid of kind of being left behind by all these other trades and transactions the other teams in the conferences are doing?
A little bit, but I have some faith in our continuity, and frankly, like just the team being similar to the team that was created into the game itself. I kind of hope that will help a bit. But just a couple of weeks ago, we were in much better position to go after that 5 spot at least, and we took a little slide here. But I'd like to think that we're a team that is not going to be one that you want to face in the first round.
Oh, well, you're definitely, I think, the toughest matchup in the first round. Other than maybe if Washington sneaks into the playoffs, they could be kind of a bother for a lot of teams, considering their big three that they acquired: Embiid, Porzingis, and Beal. A lot of good scorers on that team, but not a lot of depth otherwise. That's why they're kind of struggling so far. But you have a really good balanced team throughout. Talent at the top, young talent, and then veteran bench presence. So it's really well constructed, and we'll see how you continue to tinker with it. Last year, I think you've been in the playoffs most of the year, or all of the years that you've been in the league. Yeah. So you're pretty much familiar with how we run the playoffs differently from the regular season, different coaching sheets, new things to tinker around with. Is that something that you've had difficulty with in the past, like too many settings, stuff like that works? Maybe it's a little too different from the regular season.
We actually, one of the seasons, I think we missed the playoffs when I was running the Heat with Egghead. Yeah. Hey, gonna have to pick it back up on my phone. I don't know what's going on with my setup over here. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, I was getting more engaged in the coaching, and we had a really incredible Game 7 win, and it felt pretty gratifying building those rotations and all of that, the advanced rotations, and kind of watching the games and figuring out what to tweak. And I'm actually really looking forward to that because it gives us a little more control over what's going on. And I think we have kind of a weird roster sometimes with especially taking a gamble on Cousins and bringing him in and trying to integrate him with Bam. So I'm looking forward to tinkering with those coaching options, and once we know what our matchup is going to be, I think that's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, with Cousins, you gave him a really large contract in the offseason. I mean, considering what he's done in real life, do you kind of look back at that and think maybe you shouldn't have done that? Or has
yeah,
he been good for your team?
That was pretty wacky on our part, but I had wanted to try to do something to add to the team, and I didn't really like any of the other options at that point in time. I was dead set on Cousins over the rest of the field after some of the big names were no longer available, and having the space that we did and being able to still preserve cap space this coming off season, I didn't have a problem throwing the bag at him to just lock him in for one season. And if we move forward with him, hopefully that gesture will pay off in future negotiations. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if there's anyone that deserves goodwill, it's a guy who pays $20 million to this aging vet coming off an injury. I mean, if the FAC doesn't reward that, I think they just don't like their job enough to really care anymore. We're gonna have to look at some replacements, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, we took a chance on him, and I I think it's been good for the team. Um, you know, hell, I just lost my train of thought, but yeah, I like having him on board, and I don't think he progressed as much as I was hoping he would, but he definitely adds a new element to the team that I appreciate.
Okay. Well, and just we'll finish it up. Uh, just want to say the team, it's looking good. You know, you guys have gone through your little bit of speed bump right now. It's been a bit of a bumpy road in the
Yeah.
last few weeks, but things are starting to pick up. We're gonna get the more streams going for these seeding deciding games that are coming down in the next month or so. We only have
Awesome.
until mid-May. I think that's when the season ends and we start in the play-in. Hopefully, I mean, right now you're in the play-in. Maybe when we get down there, Toronto's in the seventh seed and you're six, and you don't have to worry about any of that. But
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah,
Hopefully.
but right now, I mean, obviously, it's a little disappointing to be seventh in the conference. Still a lot of time,
Yeah, yeah.
but is this a moment where you're thinking you're a little anxious about, can I drop out of the playoffs? Will I lose my lottery pick to the Knicks? Are those worries going through your head, or is it something you have to block out? Blocking out.
Yeah, just gotta block it out because we had much bigger goals than that, and you know I know that we have enough to make it into these playoffs, and I do think that we have a strength when it comes to once those advanced rotations come into play, and yeah, I can't think about that right now, but I will say that our performance in the playoffs is going to heavily influence the makeup of the team and the decisions we make going forward. Um, and yeah, just I want to see what these guys can do in the playoffs. And you got Jimmy and Bam out there. Your chances are usually pretty good. So we'll see what we can do.
All right. Well, best of luck to you and to your new GM. I can't pronounce his name, but
Yes.
hope you guys succeed in the few games we have left. Succeed in the playoffs as much as you can, and we'll see you guys in June. Hopefully, you'll be playing games still.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
well, yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah. All right. So I'll let you go right now. Thanks for coming on. I don't know if you had done a lot of voiced things for the NBN before, but we're trying to get some people who haven't traditionally been involved with the league as much
oh
and
yeah,
get them on.
I'm definitely on board for that. I have a NBA podcast it's called Free Ballers, and I'd like to do a little cross promo there and see if we can have you or anyone who wants to come on or Chuck or to talk about the league. And yeah, like I said earlier, I have more time now not playing music, and so I'd like to participate more and voice stuff, despite my setup breaking down just now and you having to possibly do more editing.
Yeah.
um,
Well, it's a problem for me in the future, so don't sweat it.
yeah, cool. Well, yeah. Thanks for having me on, Cheppy, and best of luck to you guys as well.
All right. Thank you very much. So, I'll end it there. Good night.
Yeah.